Hey, this is 47 Mason 47. I've got another review for you today. This time it's of the Walther PPS. If you watch my videos with any regularity, you saw a couple of weeks ago me post one shooting this weapon. I was meaning to get to this review earlier, but been sick for about 3 weeks and didn't really feel like making the video. Even if I did, I couldn't really talk, so wouldn't be much point in it. Anyway, to get down to the review, this is the Walther PPS. I bought it in 9mm. Picked it up from 2aguns.com, which is a veteran-owned company. The owner's a real honest guy. I've known him for a pretty long time. He does excellent customer service, great pricing. Give him a visit at 2aguns.com if you get a chance. But I've had this for a couple of, probably about 2 months now. It is my primary carry weapon. I upgraded from a Kel-Tec PF9, and when I say upgrade, I do mean upgrade. This is a definitely just vastly superior weapon. It does cost about twice as much as the PF9, but you get more than twice the gun easily. To start with, I'll show you the contents of the package. When you get your PPS, it comes in a case like this. It's got of course the arbitrary lock. I stuck the manual and everything up here. It's got the test cartridge, the manual, and some other paperwork. The warranty paperwork's in there too. You do have to go on Smith & Wesson's website and register this for the warranty to take effect. That's a little bit annoying, but I guess you can't expect much from guns that don't have a lifetime warranty. These clips here, they do hold rather tightly. I actually somehow managed to freaking cut my thumb open on it the first time I opened it, fairly severely. It bled quite a bit, so I used a screwdriver to pry these open the first few times that I opened this case. I generally just don't latch these now. It mostly just sits in my closet anyway. When I carry it, I generally just have it on my holster. But it comes with a replaceable thicker back strap. I was excited about this and thought that I would use it because I have fairly large hands. But upon inserting it into the weapon, I didn't really care for it. It felt a little bit kind of like down here towards the bottom. It just stuck out a little bit too much. It was just not comfortable. I had trouble with, I mean, you can see it's already got a fairly curved back strap there anyway, but my thumb on this side just felt awkward, and I couldn't really reach the slide release. So I was not a big fan. And mine came with one of the longer magazines. I believe this one holds 8 rounds, and then one shorter one that holds 7, I believe. And then you can also get one that's flush fit. I believe it holds 6. I think the 40 caliber is one less on all of those. I think it's 5, 6, and 7 instead of 6, 7, and 8. Alright, to show you some general features and information about the PPS. As you can see, it's got 3-dot sights. The rear one is adjustable by drifting it over into the slide. You can see there. The front sight is fixed. And I believe that they do make some replacements for that if you want. I haven't really looked for them because I love the sights on this gun. They're real easy to see. Mine was dead on accurate. The first time that I took it out and shot it, I've put about 400 rounds through it, I guess, so far. Never had a jam. I've shot Tula steel case, Winchester crappy white box, Remington UMC, Blazer, some Federal Hydroshock 147 grains. It's done just fine with every type of ammunition I've put through it so far. You can see the ejector port's kind of oddly shaped. I'm not really sure if that is anything other than just looks, but we'll go ahead and lock the slide back so you can see that's open. So there's not really any trouble with ejection, and you can easily see the chamber there to inspect if the weapon's loaded or not. Also, at the top here, you can look down into that little hole, and if you have a round in there, it acts as a loaded chamber indicator. I don't really ever use that myself. I mostly just give the slide a quick pull and inspect the chamber that way. It is like a Glock where you dry fire the weapon, and the trigger will stay set back so that you know it's unloaded. Also on the back, you can see this hole. If it's black, if the striker is set down in there, you know the weapon's unloaded. When you rack the slide, it has that red indicator. So if you see one of these laying around, or if you want to check real quick on your holster or whatever, you can see that red dot. Again, that's something I don't really use. Generally, if it's in my holster, it's loaded. So I don't really use that. But if you're the type of person that likes those extra safeties and ability to check the weapon easily, that may be something that you enjoy. The slide release on this weapon, you can see, is it's recessed kind of down in this. If I can find it here, it's recessed down in this little land here, which makes it, I guess, harder to snag on something. It's also it's very low profile. If I can get that, you see, it's just a slight rise. This whole gun is very slick. Not very many surfaces. The sights are rounded off on the front and back so that they don't snag on anything. Slide release, unlike the PF9, it's very easy to trip the slide release. So when the weapon is locked back like this, it's not an act of Congress to like sit there and push on that button like with the PF9. It's just a simple little flip of the thumb, and the slide goes in the battery. The magazine release on this weapon is kind of odd. It took me quite a while to get used to. The best way that I've found to activate it is just move your finger up here, take your middle finger, push down on the lever, and the magazine will come out. It is ambidextrous. You can see here you can use it from either side, which is nice, but it's weird. I don't know. I guess other Walther weapons have a similar magazine release, but if you try and use this finger, it's hard to get the magazine release all the way down enough for the magazine to actually come out, because it hits the second finger there. So if you move your finger up here, then depress it, the magazine will drop free and it works fine. You can see these magazines are somewhat odd shaped too. They have this really large follower, which makes carrying them in your pocket really awkward and kind of uncomfortable. But they do fit really nicely, and basically become one with the grip of the weapon. So you can get a full 3 fingers on there with this magazine without any trouble, even if you have fairly large hands. With the longer magazine, you get, again, that nice flush look, and I guess this is probably about the same length as the P99. Again, it's a little more comfortable. You can get a little easier two-handed grip on it. It's got that larger hook there to kind of help you, I guess, with recoil control and whatnot. But firing this weapon's real easy to do. Like I said, the sights are excellent. It's real easy to draw up a bead, and just muscle memory from shooting my Glocks works really well with this weapon. It seems to find home without too much difficulty. The recoil is not near as bad as other compact and subcompact 9mm that I've fired. The PF9 was especially nasty. I could shoot it about 50 times or so, and then I was done. I just didn't enjoy shooting it after that. A lot of times I'd have trouble keeping a decent group. My hand would just start shaking, and this little section here would just be red, bleeding in some cases. This gun is very comfortable to shoot. The recoil is very manageable. It is a little heavier, I think, than the PF9, although it is slimmer. The slide feels a little more chunky. That probably helps tame some of that recoil. But it's very pleasant to shoot. Like I said, I put about 400 rounds through mine, and at one time, both times I fired it, I've put 200 through it, and if I hadn't ran out of ammo, I'd have been easily willing to put 200, 400, 600 more through it. The only thing that gets tired is my thumb from reloading these magazines. I've only got 2 so far because they're about $50 freaking a piece. Pretty much everything about this gun's expensive. The gun itself was $600 shipped and transferred, which is a heck of a deal for this particular gun. 2A guns really hooked me up there. But these magazines are freaking expensive. They're kind of hard to find. There's not any aftermarket ones, and even if there were, they probably wouldn't be any good just because they're kind of different. The fit and finish of the PPS is another area where it really shines beyond the cheaper weapons like the PF9. The PF9 that I had, I bought it brand new, but it already had some splotching and some darker places in the finish. The PPS's finish is very uniform. There's no dark spots. It's all evenly coated. It looks great. The serial number and everything shows up nicely. The polymer sections of this weapon are even a lot more attractive than the PF9, and there's not any of those burrs and sharp points like the PF9 had. It all feels very smooth. There's no snagging. I took a lot of sandpaper and kind of polished especially these seams up on my PF9 because it was sharp enough to where I could feel, especially right through here and underneath the trigger, after shooting it a few times, my fingers would actually get kind of a little groove in them from that. So I had to sand that down. I didn't have to do anything of the sort with this one. It's vastly superior. The only problem that I've had after carrying this one for about 2 months is that the slide release apparently is not coated with the same finish that the slide is, which is often the case. It's the same thing with the Glocks and other weapons. I did develop a little bit of rust on there one time whenever I was working outside and got especially sweaty. I apparently didn't put any oil on the slide release like I should have, and I developed a little surface rust, but I was able to take some hops and just wipe that right off, and you'd never know it was there now. Again, like the Glock disassembling, this weapon's very similar. I love this gun particularly because I'm a big Glock fan. It's very simple to operate, and field stripping it is exactly the same. Just to press the trigger, dry fire the weapon, pull the slide back just a hair, push down on this little bar, the slide just comes clear of the weapon, gives you access to the trigger group and whatnot. Well, not necessarily deep down in there, but you can clean out the inside, which I haven't done. You can see mine's kind of nasty. Then inside the slide operates again much the same way. Just remove the recoil spring, and then the barrel comes out much like with the Glock, and there you go. Very simple to clean. Firing the PPS is also a joy. I forgot to mention this earlier, but the trigger pull when I first got it was extremely gritty. It was rough feeling. I was really angry when I first took it out of the box, dry fired it 5 or 10 times. I was highly displeased. I was thinking, you know, what the crap, this is a $600 gun, it should have a better trigger than this. After about 50 rounds through it, it had definitely started to smooth up. By the time I had finished with the first range trip, it was excellent. I mean, it's heavier than the Glock. It's probably about 6.5 pounds, if I had to guess. I don't have a trigger pull measurer, but I'd guess it's probably about 6.5 pounds. It's nice and clean though. It has a great break. I'll show you here let's see, pull it from here. You see it goes back about halfway, and then there's a definite second stage, and then it has just a short, heavier pull, but it's excellent. It's got a nice crisp feel to it. The reset is nice and strong. It comes back, you know, not so heavy that it hurts your finger by any means, but let's see, I'll show you again. Triggers to press. Do it this way. The slide comes back. It's got that nice click to it. So overall impressions, the PPS, I definitely recommend it. It is a little bit expensive, but if you can afford to put the money down, it's a great investment. Excellent weapon. I love shooting it. I'd shoot it more if I could. I just don't have time with it being getting dark at 5 o'clock. There's just no time to go to the range anymore. Hopefully I can make it out a few weekends from now to do some more videos. But PPS is a huge improvement over the PF9. I mean, I just can't even believe the trigger on the PF9. If you've shot one, of course, is pretty rough. The recoil's bad. It's real snappy. This thing, it's so smooth. I love shooting it. It feels very Glock-like in my hands. Again, it points right where muscle memory and whatnot of the Glock 19 that I normally shoot. Overall, I just love it. I'm very pleased with my purchase. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. There's a video of me shooting this weapon that, if you haven't seen it yet, I'll put a link to it right across here at the bottom of the screen. Thanks for watching. If you like the videos, feel free to check out some of my other ones. If not, oh well. Anyway, peace out.